Morning, gang. Here we are again, back in Lincolnshire on this Wednesday, the 7th of August, 2019. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom Talk. A little bit earlier than we are usually at this time of day. That's because the air conditioning man has to come back tomorrow. Air conditioning come heating. He did come yesterday, all on time and fantastic. And, he did work hard. Anyway, I'll talk to you about that in a minute. Good news, boys and girls. Very, very good news. The prizes have arrived. Not here. No, the prizes have arrived and they have been delivered where I can pick them up at our delightful little Ryman's in Bracknell. They got delivered there yesterday, apparently. So I shall be picking those up on Saturday and revealing all maybe on Saturday morning, if not Sunday morning, okay? Depending which way round I do it. Sometimes on a Saturday morning, there might not be any time for a show, but there will be this week. I know there will be. Sometimes I'll do the show before I leave the house and go shopping or whatever. Or sometimes I do it the other way round. So I'll try Saturday to do it the other way around. Oh, the excitement is built. You're wondering what it is, aren't you? And will you win one is the most important question. Shania, well, Shania doesn't need to do anything. She's won one already. She's won one already on the competition last month. Now, remember, the competition this month is who... Just a moment, please. Hello? Hello, mate. Sylvie and Alan. Oh, don't know the surname. It might be. It might well be, actually. Right. No, there isn't. You just go to the house, literally. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, of course I can. Do you want me to go there now, or you're right for about half an hour or an hour? Okay, yeah, I'll pop down there in about 45 minutes, yeah. All right, you want me to ring you back? Yeah. Okay, mate, I'll do that. All right, cheers, Jamie. Bye now. Bye. Sorry about that. That was the air conditioning man, actually. He's had something delivered to the owners down there for me, and he wants to know whether they're near or not. Could I pop over? So I'll have to pop over there. So not a tiny show, but slightly shorter than it is usually, boys and girls. Okay, now where were we? Yes, Shania has, of course, won the first prize. This month's prize is for the person who shares the show to the most walls and the most groups. That's a combined thing. So wherever you share the show to, that counts as one. All right. If you share it to the same wall twice, that still only counts at one, because I can tell. All I have to do is click on shares and see what's gone where. So far, at the moment, way in the lead is Rachel Wheatland. She shared the show 16 times at the moment, followed by Ellie, who shared the show 9 times. And then Dr. SOS Gregorian and Michael Pullman joint next place with 3. And then some people have shared the show to 1 place, okay? And Rob Shaggy as well. He shared the show to 2 places. So that's how you win the prize this month. We haven't really done anything with the YouTube thing. This is becoming difficult. I just want to think of it as some other way. There was someone said, you could ask a question about the show, which I suppose you could do something like that. But it's getting a bit complicated. Maybe next time we'll do it as a YouTube only competition. Do you see what I mean? And do it like that, but that's how it's going at the moment. All right, so good morning to Shania. Who else is with us this morning? Tim Partington. Good morning, Tim. Diane Jebb in the house. Good morning, Diane. Mike Rees-Ponto. There he is. Morning. Lovely Claire. Good morning, Claire. A very nice morning. Someone's written there in a different language. I can't read that name, unfortunately, but a very good morning to you. Morning to Ray Reynolds. Ray Reynolds entertaining us on Monday night. A bit of a quiet night on Monday at the karaoke, actually. The whole weekend has been quiet at the pub, probably due to Brighton Pride. You would be surprised how many people who come out on the sort of gay scene in London disappear to Brighton when they have the Brighton Pride event once a year. It only happens once. It only happens once, but it does affect us considerably. And many of the other clubs and bars, actually. It's always been like that over the years I've been working sort of on the scene. And we were down there Friday night. We must have been down 3/4 of our usual amount of people. We usually have a packed Friday. Friday it was okay. There were no gaps. But instead of having like 30 singers, there was about, I think, 15 or 16, something like that. But a nice night. You know, the Friday crowd, they're always quite jumpy, always a little bit jumping around, a little bit loud and boisterous. Completely opposite now to the Monday crowd. There's two very distinct, different nights. But Monday was quiet as well. Although, again, once we started the karaoke, it carried on right the way through, you know. Didn't need any breaks or anything like that. Shania's getting excited about the Pride. I hope so, Shania. Remember, it's nothing of any value. It's not enormously big. But I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it, Shania, all right? Claire doesn't usually listen or watch on a Saturday, but I might have to make a special effort this weekend to see what the prizes are. I know it's going to be thrilling. Oh, we do like a thrill. We really like a thrill, Claire, don't we, dear? I like a thrill. It's been a long time since I had a thrill, funnily enough. But never mind, it might happen for me when I open the envelope or parcel that arrives and is waiting for me at this moment at Ryman's. Yes. By the way, when I get to the end of the show, can you just remind me to go down to Sylvie's and check that the items have arrived? Morning to John Aitken, says you're early today. This is the thing, John. Remember, there's no schedule, dear. This show can appear at any time, day or night. One night you'll have that little... I don't know if you turn your phone off at night, do you? Do you turn off your phone at night? One night, if you don't turn it off, you know, it could bleep at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I hope, being the proper fan you are, you immediately wake up and turn it on and watch me. It's very, very important. Otherwise, I go into deep depression. It's awful, dear, awful. You know. Mike, if we share from the new page, will that count? Yes. Yes, it does. It does count from the new page. I have to look in two different places, actually. Profile page and United Kingdom talk page. I do have to check on both sides. Interestingly enough, as you asked, Rachel and Ellie watch on the new page, and that's where they're getting... That's why you can't see their shares. You have to go on there. Just click where... I don't know if you can see where it says shares, can you? Can you see where it says shares? And if you click on that, you'll see loads shared by me because it goes to the various groups and anyone else, and it tells you how many. So, yes, it will indeed. Mike shared 3 times on Monday. Did you, Mike? Mike responded. Why is your name not on here? Why is your name not on there? Just a moment. Let me just check. Monday. Right, oh, hang on a minute. I'm on the wrong mouse here. Let me get this right. Monday. Monday. 8 shares. 8 shares. Right, let's have a look. 8 shares Monday. Rachel. Ellie. Rachel. 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 You're not on there. You're not on there. Don't say that doesn't work. Monday. Is that Monday? That's definitely Monday, is it? Yes, Monday. I don't see you on there, Mike. I don't see a share from you on Monday. I'm afraid. Hate to tell you that, old boy. Or have I not gone down far enough? 1 minute. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't see yours. Some posts may not appear here because of their privacy settings. Have you got a privacy setting thing set up there? It says 8 shares. Hang on a minute. Rachel and 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I can only see 4. Oh, this ain't going to work either, is it? Ah, oh, Michael, I don't think this is working either. Oh, God, it just gets very complicated, doesn't it? Is that definitely the Monday one? Yeah, August the 5th, Monday. 8 comments. Maybe it's on the comments. Just a sec. Let me just check this for you, boys and girls. You see, now we're getting into bloody sorting out technical things instead of doing something. Scrolling down, there it is again. 8. Is there any comments? There were no comments from you on Monday either. Is that right? Can't see any comments from you either there, Monday. Some comments may have been filtered out. Oh, hang on a minute. New. Is it real time? Real time? Oh, wow. Oh, hang on a minute. No, it says 9. Oh, no, that was Wednesday's. 1 minute. 8. 2 there. I don't know now. Oh, that's not going to work either, is it? That's not. It's just not going to work, is it? Oh, well, that's thrown a spanner in the works. Doesn't work. Doesn't. I can't see them all. Can't see them all. I tell you what. That's it. There we go. We'll think of some other. So far we've only given out one. So I'm going to have to think of something else. I'll have to think of something else. Thank you, Craig. Good morning, Craig. Facebook doesn't always show all the shares. Well, that's no good, is it? That's no good. We can't do it that way now. Oh, well, forget that. Forget that. Feel free to share the show if you want, but there's no prize. Dear me. I don't know. Gary Butler, what's that smell? It's you. That's my nephew, Gary Butler. Him and his little daughter. I mean, girls do not fart. Please, ladies. Girls do not fart. Well, I was round Gary's house last night, and the three of them were at it. Him, he's my nephew, great nephew Harry, and great niece Evie, taking great pride in farting the loudest. Awful. Awful. Tell your daughter that little girls don't do that. Claire doesn't do that. Absolutely not. Claire would rather die than doing something like that in public. Wouldn't you, Claire? Ah, John turns his phone and iPad off at night. Yeah, I do as well, actually. Thank you very much for that. All right, let's get on with this anyway, boys and girls. Far too much time worrying about prizes here. Oh, dear. Maybe I'll just give them out. If you want one, just ask for one and I'll pop it in the post or something like that. But not until Shania Shania has to have her prize before everyone else, because she made great effort to get up in the morning. Yes, and she's still first now, even though there's no prize. That is what you call, you know, dedication. Dedication, that's what it is, dedication. All right, remember I went to the hospital Monday, popped down to the hospital in London where I go twice a year. So they suck some blood out of my arm, and what a difference it makes when the school kids are on holiday. I mean, it really does. Not so much in the hospital, just the roads during the daytime. And the car park I go in, I go to the Royal Free in Hammersmith, Hampstead. And I come down this road, which is, I come kind of around Hampstead. I come up this posh road of posh houses. Posh, we could never ever afford one of those houses. I come past all these posh houses around Hampstead, and I go past this pond and then down a very steep hill. And then near the bottom of the hill, I suppose, just before you get into the main sort of, they call it a village. I mean, please. Village. What, surrounded by all those cars and roads? That ain't no village, dear. It's not a village. It's a town. They come down this road. About halfway down it, halfway, 3/4 way down it, on the left, is like a big car park, which is like gravel or sand. You know, it's not like tarmacked over at all like that. And a couple of times a year, I think once a year, they close it and they re-gravel or re-sand it, if you see what I mean. So it's all flat again. And very quickly, that sinks into the ground and you start getting the bumps again. So you drive around it really carefully. And I got there, and sometimes, I don't think I've never not found a parking space there, but sometimes you have to, oh, there's one over there, you know, and you put your foot down quickly, you know. Sand pours out where your wheels are turning so fast, and you get in there before the other one gets in. And I got to this, and honestly, it was more than 3/4 empty. I thought, my God, where is everyone today? Mind you, they have just put the price up to £3.70 for 2 hours. You know, out came the coins, in went the coins in the meter. And the thing is, when it comes to just they're just collecting my blood, you're only in there for like 10 minutes, if that, if you're lucky. It depends. So I've put my money in and walked down. It was a nice day actually, Monday. Walked down to the hospital, up the stairs, and took my little ticket. I had number 31. I looked at the thing. It was on number 30. I thought, oh, I'm next. How fabulous. Went to the desk. Hello, Chris. How are you? I'm all right. Thanks very much. Have you got an extra half an hour? I said, I haven't got an extra half an hour today. What's it for? Oh, well, people over 50. I mean, I'm, you know, why he assumed I was over 50 without even checking my records, I don't know. I don't look it, do I? Come on, I don't, dear. I don't. He said, can we, there's a few extra tests and things that we like to do to people who are over 50. And I said, oh, I really haven't got the time to do it. I said, I'm coming on my appointment in a couple of weeks ago. Why don't I come in early and you can do it then? He said, yeah, that'd be fine. So we arranged to do that. Then I sat down. Oh, hello, Chris, said the blood man. He's a nice man. There's a few different people do it. There's the regular one, whose name is Herman or Hermes. I can't remember his name now. He's like of Asian appearance. I think he's English though. And he's really good. He's really good. You rarely feel the needle going in. Other people, you know, and then it's in, and you can feel the sharpness of the needle. They can't do it. No, he's the best one. He's touching my thing and attaching the thing, and then the blood starts flowing. I don't look when the needle goes in. No, thank you very much, dear. How drug people can inject themselves with drugs, I do not know. I cannot watch that needle going in my arm. So that comes out, and okay, thanks very much. Put the little plaster on, and off I went back to the car. And from leaving the car to getting back there, 24 minutes. That's not bad, is it? And I'm back in the car. Of course, I paid for 2 hours. You know, I mean, I like to get my money's worth. I won't lie to you. You know, I'm prepared to sit in that car park for 2 hours if I had the time, but I didn't. So I jumped back in the car and drove home, and once again, no, not too bad on the roads at all. And I managed to get back. I was hoping to get back for 1:30. I got back by 1 o'clock. So I had time for lunch as well. So that's all right. That was on Monday. And now they'll be doing their tests and looking at me. And then hopefully, when I go back in 2 weeks' time, I've got a wonderful doctor. Wonderful. His name's Mike. Wonderful doctor. And hello, Chris. Have a sit down here. Tip, tip, tip. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. And the glasses go on. Okay. And how are you? I said, perfectly all right. He said, right, okay, let's have a look there. Yeah, that's fine. There you go. Signs another prescription. Gives me this thing for these pills. There you go. F off. I'll see you in 6 months. That's what he says. F off. I'll see you in 6 months. Hopefully, you know, hopefully. So that's something that I did there. And that's on Monday. And then I went out and I had my lunch, sleep. Karaoke, drove up here, nice drive up here as well, really, and that was it. Yesterday, I did manage to get to the swimming pool yesterday, and afterwards I went to Aldi. I wanted to get some blueberries in there, so I've gone in Aldi, and you know, I thought, oh, I'll go mad and buy a loaf of bread today. I bought a loaf, no, not a loaf of bread, 4 wholemeal baps. Do you like those? Wholemeal baps from Aldi, dirt cheap they are, and some porridge oats. I couldn't find the blueberries, so I went into the, you know, the cool thing fridge section where they have some fruits like strawberries and things like that. No blueberries. Oh, I've just come in for blueberries and you haven't got any. Anyway, so I've gone round the shop. Aldi in Boston is always sort of pretty busy. Joined the till, got to the till, and as she's putting, I said, I couldn't find it. Have you not got any blueberries today? She said, oh, I think we have. She said, and the manager just happened to appear. How do they do that? And that happens in Aldi. Managers suddenly just appear. You know, a little bit like Mr. Ben. Do you remember that? Ba 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 ba. Mr. Ben with the bowler hat on. Do you remember him? They just appear. These managers. Have we got any blueberries? Yeah, they're in the 6 a day section, or the you know, 6 of the best section. You know, where they have the cheap things. All right, I'll go and get you some. And with that, and there's 3 people behind me in the queue, she's jumped off her seat and she's disappeared. And then as she's going, how many do you want? I said, oh, 1 large one, please, or 2 small ones. She's gone. Well, she must have been disappeared for 2 minutes. Meanwhile, the queue's looking at me. You know, I thought, I'm going to be stabbed in here. And then she turned up. Fantastic customer service in Aldi in Boston. Really impressed with. I didn't expect that in there, because usually they were like, you're out of the way as quickly as possible, but they weren't. You know, really, really good they were. So come out of Aldi, came back here. As I say, the bloke who did who's putting in the heating come air conditioning, it's one unit, it does both things. He pitched up here yesterday at about just after 9 o'clock in the morning. He said 8 o'clock, but it was a little bit further than he thought. But he turned up here at about 9:15, and lovely bloke actually. What's his name again? Jamie. Ever such a nice bloke. I expected 2 or 3 people, but no, he was on his own. And I had to meet him at the barrier, because we've got a barrier here that has to be opened for people to come in and out. So I met him round at the barrier and brought him round. and made him a nice cup of tea, and he started work, and he didn't stop until he left here at 5:15. Really, I made him a cup of tea. I said, "Are you all right if I leave you?" He said, "Yeah, that's fine. I'll get on with it." Because I don't like to be in people's way. You know, work people, work type people. I'd rather leave them alone. I used to be a BT engineer, and it was so annoying when you were trying to get up with your job, and there was someone yakking in your ear all the time, or asking you questions about what you were doing. You know, I always found that very, very annoying. Or you don't want to be over someone's shoulder. So, you know, I'll go and do something and leave him to it, and he knows best and what have you. And so I left him here, and I went down to the swimming pool, you see, and done my little shopping in Aldi. Come back here. I did ask him if he wanted anything to eat, but apparently he doesn't have anything until tea time. So I didn't make him anything to eat, but I made him some more tea, and I made my dinner. And my sister and my brother-in-law came round, and they sit here. They bought me a pasty, but of course I'd already had dinner. You know, I'd already had my dinner. That's my sister and brother-in-law that are on a carb-free diet. You know, carb-free diet. They turn up here with a pasty each and one for me, you know, which I am entirely grateful for. But I just had dinner. I said I'll have it later. Not much chance of that, you know. As they finished their pasty, they split it into 2.5 of mine each. But that's okay, because I had ice cream in my freezer and I had that instead. Only a little bit. Only a little bit. You know those oval-shaped ice creams like that? I'll have about a third. I used to have a whole one. Then it was half. Now I only have a third. So things are improving on that side of things, Claire. Just want to point that out, darling. All right. I have about a third of one of those. I think I've got the toffee caramel one. Again from Aldi. Dirt cheap, about £2 for one of those. Great big thing like that, £2. And my sister and Martin, they bought over some items that I'd ordered from Amazon. Electric kettle, a small one, that draws less power. Because remember, I've told you before, we haven't got so much power coming into a caravan before. And when the electric's tripped, it's always been the damn kettle. And the kettle I've got is 3.4 kilowatts. The new one is only 900 watts. Okay? Now you'd think to yourself, oh, that's going to take ages to boil. No, not really. No, I was a bit concerned about that. But as soon as it arrived, as soon as my sister gave it to me, I took it out of the box, filled it with water, plugged it in, because you have to boil it out a couple of times, don't you? Turned it on. Well, about 8 minutes. It's okay. So it's 8 minutes instead of kind of 3. It's no problem. No problem at all. Actually, didn't even notice that it took any longer, to be honest. So I got that and some silver sticky tape stuff for the roof. And what else did I buy? Oh, some black bin bags. You know your wheelie bin outside? I like to put a liner in those. I haven't got one here, but down at the house. Because they get in such a... Oh, I can't bear a dirty bin. I'm sorry, dear. No. No. I have to wash out my wheelie bins once a year. Minimum. Sometimes twice. What I do is I put a load of water in it and some... usually floor cleaner, actually. Some nice smelling floor cleaner. You know the pink one? You know the flash one? Pink. I think it's some sort of flora or blossom or something like that. So I put that in the bin and with a mop and do it up and down like that and give it a good rinse with the water. And then that's nice and clean and smells fresh. And then goes a bin liner once it's dried out. So I order those bin liners from Amazon. Be warned, you know, you can pay a lot of money for those. Have I got tissue in there? Just a minute. I must blow my nose. You can pay quite a lot of money for bin liners. But look around and you'll get them cheaper. All right? Just keep looking. Amazon, eBay, somewhere like that. In fact, I think Aldi do them as well. Although in Aldi, I think you can only get about 10 or 15 on a roll. If you order them off the Amazon, a big box arrives with like 100 in there, you know, which will last for ages, won't it? Okay. Let's have a look here. Oh, and I've got something to show you. Then, right, it poured down with rain a couple of times. The poor bloke who was outside doing the work on the caravan, he popped in and I made him another cup of tea while the rain came down. A couple of times that happened actually, and the other time he went into his van. When my sister and Martin arrived, he sat in his van for a little while. He absolutely chucked it down, and then like 2 minutes later, it was like it never rained. Anyway, in between the rain, we decided to go for a little bit of a walk along the river, and we discovered two wonderful things. I've got two very short videos to show you first. First, here's the butterflies. Look at those. 2 of those beautiful butterflies. Do you know what they're called? Is it like, I don't know, painted something or other? There they were, fluttering away. You could actually, Martin, my brother-in-law, he actually stroked one of them. They're quite happy being stroked, and of course they love that that flower there. Someone's got a shrub, there we go, someone's got a shrub just around the corner. And they love being on that. And then we walked up, that was on the caravan site, someone's got that little bush there. Then we walked up the steps to the river, and we made a new friend. I'll come to that in a minute. Let me just read some of your messages there, boys and girls. Good morning. Good morning to Waynie Martin. Good morning, Waynie. And Michael Lawrence. Good morning, young Michael Lawrence. Claire takes years of training. It does, Claire. I know how hard you train, dear. Good morning to Rudy Garcia. Morning to Roy Brownlow. Good morning, Roy. He's just getting his boy ready. He's got an operation today on his finger. Oh, what's he having done? Is it like crooked or broken or something? What's wrong with his finger there, Roy? Well, I wish you the best of luck with that. Nothing to worry about. Presumably on a finger he'll be awake while they're doing that, will he? Do they just do the local anaesthetic there? You see, well, years ago when I was a child, I hurt my ear. I'd been on my bike and I come flying down this hill, bumped up onto a pavement, and I went right straight. My side of my head went straight into one of those crisscross metal fences, you know, made out of wire, and I cut my ear. It was terrible, really. And he did injections around it and then sewed it up. Of course, I didn't feel a thing but the noise as the cotton went through or whatever it is. Morning to Paul Martin. Good morning, Paul. Haven't seen you at the karaoke lately, dear. Come along, dear. Come along. John loved Mr. Ben. We love Mr. Ben. John's a bad boy. He bought some Magnums yesterday, and I ate 2 last night, even after a big bowl of paella. Oh, no, not paella for me. Is that the Spanish thing that's got everything in it? Oh, no, dear. No. Thank you, Michael. So there's your messages for now. All right, that wasn't... So we didn't just see the butterflies. We made a friend yesterday. Here he is. This is Eric the goose. Very, very friendly. Look at him. And he comes right up to you. He extends his neck. Look how he extends his neck. Isn't he fab? And we were a bit concerned because a dog then appeared and it came running over to us. But the goose didn't move. Oh, don't say the dog's... And then don't say the dog's going to try and eat the blooming goose in front of us or anything. And then a couple of people said, he's all right, mate. He's called Eric. What, the dog? No, the goose. The goose is called, they've named him Eric, and he adopted 2 people who own like a long boat. I don't know if I've got a picture of the long boat, but it's beautiful, this boat. It's really old, and it's got all flowers on the top, and they live on that. And this goose comes and sees them, and it's their dog, you see. So kind of their dog knows the goose, and the goose knows the dog, so they're quite happy with each other. Isn't that fabulous? Eric the goose. So I might pop up later and see him again. John says, geese have a nasty nip. Well, it didn't appear to want to attack me at all. It just wanted to come over and see me, which is quite nice. Roy says, oh, his boy got his finger trapped in his bike. Oof. Putting him to sleep. Remove stitch nail and straighten it. Ooh. Got it trapped in his bike. Nasty. What, in the chain? Oh, you do so much damage on this stuff, can't you? Well, I hope he's all right. Tell him Uncle Chris wishes him well. Okay, good luck to your boy on that thing there. And that was my day yesterday, boys and girls. I did, as I say, go up to my my nephew's house last night, and me and great nephew Harry, great niece Evie, there's great niece Olivia, and my nephew. We said Harry likes to watch YouTube. But actually, the 2 children, they like to watch YouTube videos. And the YouTube video, did I write that down actually? The YouTube videos we watched last night were dropping things. Okay, so we've discovered these lads in Australia, and they get millions of views. Millions. I mean, how you get millions of views, and all they do is drop things. They climb up this thing. It's like a gantry thing. which I don't know if it's theirs or just they borrow it from somewhere. They climb up and they literally drop things from it and see what happens. And yesterday's ones, they had this kind of, it was like a missile, but it wasn't a missile, you know, like an arrow type thing, which looked like a bomb. And they would drop it, first of all, on sand, okay? And it went right in the sand, and I had to pull it out with this rope. Then they put one concrete slab on there, dropped it, and it smashed that, although it bent the end of it. Then two, and it smashed those, and they kept building it up, and then I think they got to about 6, and it couldn't get through 6, and that's all they do. They just drop things onto these things. The other day they had an anvil, you know, the metal anvil things, and they were dropping that off this thing. And water balloons, they dropped that down, and cans of spray paint, and they filmed it with the cameras. And they get millions of views doing that. It's very good. So they like that. And me, what we got this morning? 10. My brother-in-law, he uploads his retro store videos because he restores things. It's like within 10 minutes, like 2,000 people have watched it. Me, 10. How long we've been here? Half an hour now. 10 people. Never mind. That's how it is. That's how it is, governor. So we watch dropping things. They also enjoy watching animals eating other animals type of things. Oh, I don't get it. And I do check, actually. Oh, I haven't put the mobile phone on here. Hang on a minute. God, there might be people trying to send messages. I forgot to put this on. I've got a text number there if you want to text in. And I forgot to turn the damn phone on. Here, let's just fire that up and see if anyone's texting in. Animals eating other animals. And I do check usually with my my niece-in-law, my nephew's wife sometimes first. Oh, they want to watch crocodiles and eating ducks. Is that all right? And she's like, what? So I put it on. And great nephew Harry is amazed by all these animals eating animals. Sometimes Evie doesn't like to watch it. So yesterday's video that he was enjoying watching was crocodiles eating baby ducklings. It's just awful. It's awful. And I suppose it's a zoo in China or something like that. And there's all these loads of these little ducklings, okay, against the wall, quacking away, quack, 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 little ducklings like that. And there's 4 crocodiles. And every now and again, a crocodile moves forward and then just grabs one and swallows it. Awful. Just awful. He enjoys it. Harry loves watching it. And then we watched a snake and a spider, like a tarantula spider, and a snake having a fight. Yes, yeah, it's the spider one. The spider one. And then we watched a snake eating a live feeding of a snake, which is not pleasant. This snake is like this mouse rat thing is running around in this thing, right? And all of a sudden the snake's watching it like that. And all of a sudden it goes, it just takes a bite. It doesn't grab it in his mouth. It just bites it and then sits there and watches it. And eventually it must be some sort of poison comes out of the snake's fangs or something like that. And then this mouse then starts doing stupid things like you see it completely loses any idea of where it is and starts running in strange directions and then falls on its back with its little... Oh, it's horrible, dear. Horrible. He loves watching it. But more fun than watching all of that. Here, John watches daft animal clips on YouTube. There we are. Kids say, are you looking after your flowers? They're in the bag. In the... I'll go and get them then. You don't believe me. Look, just a moment, please. I was given gifts by the children yesterday. Just a minute now. There we are. I was given gifts by the children yesterday, boys and girls. Here we are. Are they in here? So I was given this, which they drew me. It's a panda, you see. A panda and a mobile phone. I think Evie drew this yesterday. She's 7. There are. This come from great nephew Harry, which he got from Legoland. It's a lanyard. You'll put my keys on it or something like that, you see. And then there's my flowers, because they went to a nature reserve yesterday, the children, and they got me some flowers. Look, all put look at the little wrapping like that. Here they are. There's another one here. Another one here. See? And another one here. Where's this one? Oh, the petals have come off this one. The petals have come off. Where is it? There's two more. Let me put those in there. Oh, there's three more. Three more. Here's all from the children. So there's those ones there. Those ones there. There's that one. Look, they got these from the nature reserve for me. They put a bit of tape round the bottom as well. There's that one. And there's that one. And there's that one. And there's this thing. I'm not quite sure what this is. I think it goes on top of a pencil, which Harry gave me. So thank you, Evie and Harry. And there's another bag here. I've got lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. There's a picture. That's Harry. There we are. There's Harry there. There's Harry. There's Olivia. Okay. And there's Evie on the side there. I'm not quite sure who they are at the top there. I think they're their friends. I think that's at Rainbow Hospice where Olivia goes now and then. And we've got a dinosaur cage from Legoland, which I've been given. And some other bits here, which I think belong to their mum. But nevertheless, they've nicked them off the mum and given to me. 2 pens and a bingo dabber. Yeah, which I enjoyed poking, putting a couple of little spots on the children's faces yesterday. So that was nice, wasn't it? Give me some gifts yesterday. So thank you very much to Evie and Harry for those. It's a nice surprise, isn't it, Michael? Isn't it nice to be given things like that? Good morning to Michael Pullman, joining us there as well. Good morning, Michael. So that was my day yesterday. We did do a long test yesterday. Some of you may have seen it going on. It only went out on the YouTube page. Sorry, the United Kingdom Talk Facebook page, not my profile. We just wanted to do a long test to see how the internet held up. And it held up the whole time. We didn't get cut off once in 8 hours. We did it in 2 parts. I've also discovered a setting which I've got switched on the Facebook United Kingdom Talk page. So if you type in the search bar, if you type in United Kingdom Talk, you'll come to the United Kingdom Talk Facebook page where you can see the show on there as well as on my profile page. And I found a setting on there which says continuous live video. So if we was to get cut off and I start again, it should appear in the same window without you having to do anything. Now I did try it yesterday. I did a fake internet go down yesterday, so I was doing sort of sending out the test picture, and I turned my router off for 10 seconds, turned it back on again, and it was still there. So it would have, I suppose, paused and waited for it to restart again. So that should work better now. Okay. Stuart says, try pressing the children's flowers between paper and some blooming heavy books, and then use the flowers to make birthday cards from. What an excellent idea, Stuart. DIY Stuart is in the house. Thank you very much, Stuart. I may well do. That's a good idea, that is. All right. Here's some news stories for you this morning, and then I'll have to disappear down to see Sylvie if she's got the packages from the air conditioning man. In the Sun this morning, a new weight loss jab. It's an injection. Could help overweight patients shed £10 in just 4 weeks, experts have found. Now, maybe or maybe not this will be available on the NHS. Would you pay for that? I think I would. You know, if I was told, well, if you have this injection, you'll lose £10 in 4 weeks, I think I'd have it. I think I'd have it. The injection is dubbed the best anti-obesity treatment yet. Is better than a gastric bypass. Now, I'm not overweight enough for a gastric bypass. I don't like the idea of those things. You know, I think I just don't like the idea of being opened up unless it's absolutely necessary to save your life. Although, you know, some people who are morbid, I mean seriously overweight, are in danger of losing their lives. I don't think people realise how dangerous it is to be seriously overweight. Diabetes, this, that and the other. It's all very well sitting there laughing, I won't get that. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Something like that. Diabetes, cancers, all these sort of things are linked to obesity. So in some cases, I think, yes, even for that, you should be opened up. Maybe a gastric bypass. I don't like the sound, but I really don't like, unless absolutely necessary, to be opened up. Well, this is an injection. It says it's better than a gastric bypass and it has no side effects. Wow. It says it speeds up weight loss thanks to a cocktail of hormones to burn off fat, and test shows it helped diabetic patients' blood sugar levels return to near normal levels within a month. It said volunteers, all of whom had, this is in the Sun this morning, all of who had type 2 diabetes, lost an average of 9.7 pounds, nearly twice as much as a control group given a saline solution. So when they go in and test these, you know when they test drugs out, right? So say there's 10 people testing a drug out, 5 of them will be given a drug and 5 of them will be given a placebo, which is nothing. It would be like a pill or basically water or salty water that they inject into you, or like a sugar pill. But you don't know that. You don't know whether you're having the proper pill or the fake pill, you see? And then they do their tests and things and work out what's what. They lost an average of just 5.5 pounds. It says volunteers, all of whom had type 2 diabetes, lost an average of 9.7 pounds, nearly twice as much as the control group given a saline solution. They lost an average of just 5.5 pounds. One of the participants shed a staggering 11.7 pounds in 4 weeks. An injection or pill is the holy grail in the fight against obesity epidemic. Almost 1 in 3 adults are overweight or obese. I consider I'm overweight. I'm overweight, about 1.5 stone. A professor from Imperial College London said there's a real need to find new medicines so we can improve and save the lives of many patients. I mean, if this was available to you, perhaps not on the NHS, but to pay for, you know, say, I don't know, 50 quid. Say this injection is 50 quid. Would you have it? Would you have? I don't know if you just need one or a sort of, you know, a constant injections going in you to try and sort something like this out. It says the jab mimics having a gastric band fitted but without the side effects or surgery. While the op is often successful, it can cause complications. This is the gastric bypass, such as abdominal pain, chronic nausea, vomiting and debilitating low blood sugar levels. Previous studies have shown gastric band operations work because of 3 specific hormones. And they took experiments to see if injecting the same hormones would have the same effects. And they did. And they did. 15 patients with type 2 diabetes were given the treatment for 4 weeks using a pump that slowly injected the mixture under the skin for 12 hours. It began releasing the hormones an hour before breakfast each day and finished after the volunteers' last meal. So there we are. I mean, would you have one of those? I think I would. I think I would. You know. But, you know, it doesn't mean you can eat anything. I think people go wrong here as well. You know, it doesn't mean you can just carry on eating, as you've got to do that as well. John Aiken says Gemma Collins was on the telly this morning. She said she had that injection and lost 2 stone. Where? On her left foot. Oh, you're so cruel, John. You're so cruel, dear. You're very cruel. Now, you said to me earlier about going to bed and turning off your iPhone. Do you drink before bed, John? This isn't the Metro this morning. We'll do one more story, then I'll have to do the birthdays and pop down and see if the letters have arrived or the parcels arrived. Good news for coffee fans. Bad news for anyone who likes a boozy nightcap. This is this morning's Metro. New research say that drinking alcohol or smoking before bed can wreck your sleep more so than drinking coffee. Now, I like to have a cup of tea before I go to bed. I don't think it ever keeps me awake, tea. I'm completely used to having a cup of tea just before I go to bed. I know some people have coffee, some people have milk, they have that chocolate drink, what is it, Horlicks thing? Not my cup of tea, that thing. Researchers at a Florida Atlantic University used sensors and daily sleep diaries to track 785 people's sleep across 5,164 days and nights. As well as analysing the hours of sleep each person managed, they also tracked the quality of the sleep, plus how much alcohol, caffeine or nicotine they consumed within 4 hours of going to bed. Now, what do you have before bed? Tell me what you have before bed, if anything. If anything. They found that drinking alcohol or smoking within 4 hours of bedtime had a negative effect on sleep. I used to smoke, long time ago now. It's got to be coming up on 30 years since I gave up. But I did used to smoke, and it's funny, you know, smoke. I must have a cigarette before I go to bed. Well, I mean, I wouldn't dream of that now. Oh my God, I must used to stink in bed. It says, while booze might make it easier to drift off, sleep was more disrupted after drinking or smoking, meaning lower quality rest and feeling tired in the morning. Smoking was the substance most strongly associated with sleep disruption. Researchers found that among people with insomnia, nightly nicotine use was linked to an average of 32-minute reduction in sleep duration. That's quite a long time, isn't it? 3/4 of an hour. But what's interesting is that the researchers found no impact on sleep from consuming caffeine, so tea or coffee, within 4 hours of bedtime. It says before you go chugging espressos. Oh, but that's a different thing, isn't it? Espresso. Yeah, I mean, when my mum used to drink coffee, she was a big coffee fan. But there wasn't all these different coffees. You just make a coffee. You know, it's like, can I have a coffee, please? And you just get a cup of coffee. Now, well, what would you like? Well, what do you mean? What you know? Would you want an espresso? Do you want a flat white? Do you want a latte? Do you want and they go on and on here. Years ago, you just went and had a coffee. End of, didn't you? There wasn't all some of these coffees that I see in Starbucks and all that. They've got the calories of a full roast Sunday dinner in them in one coffee. Cream on the top, this, that and the other. It says, before you go chugging espressos, through the study, though the study authors do warn that individual variations in caffeine sensitivity and tolerance weren't able to be measured. Especially, you could be more sensitive to caffeine than the participants in the study, which could result in lost sleep if you've ever had a sip of caffeine close to bedtime. So there we are. Do you drink it in the morning? John says, I told you I don't drink anymore, and definitely not a coffee before bed. Or I've got to have a cup of tea before bed, John. Absolutely. We need that tea, dear. All right, gang. Let's do today's and yesterday's birthdays. Happy birthday. Oh, it's Waynie Martin's birthday today. On this Wednesday, the 7th of August 2019. Happy birthday to Waynie. He's 44.